Ladies and gentlemen, today is really a big pleasure. I have Ozkan with me. Ozkan is a thought leader in customer experience, but not only, it's also a big friend of mine. And therefore, I'm really happy to have him on the CX Goalkeeper show. Hi, Ozkan, how are you?
Hi, Greg, doing great. And thank you very much for all the kind words that you've used. It's my pleasure actually being on the call with you today.
Thank you very much. I am quite sure we will have a brilliant discussion because you are always bringing value when I'm listening to your podcast, to your show, or when I'm looking at Pisano Academy. I learn every time something new, and therefore I'm really keen to kick off the discussion. But before we deep dive into any specific topic, Ozkan, could you please introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Just before getting back to there, I actually owe you a mention on LinkedIn. On the last healthcare report that we published, you asked for that, a few months ago. Just right after this call, I'll go back and mention you saying that this is ready now. You can go and download it. So that's one of the newest things that we're doing at Pisano Academy. Going back to myself, my name is Ozkan Demir. I'm one of the founders and CEO of Pisano. At Pisano, we provide an experience management platform that enables businesses to implement voice of customer and voice of employee initiatives in their businesses. We're moving towards, with all the capabilities that we have, into the total experience area. Before Pisano, I have relatively, I still don't have gray hairs, but I'm into business world more than 20 years. I started to work when I was 11. Since then, I've always worked in different works and at different capacities. I worked in Italy for quite a lot, and right before, as we were discussing, my Italian used to be better than my English even. And I worked in US just before starting Pisano for about 1.5 years. And then I came back to Turkey and started Pisano Adventure.
Thank you very much, Ozkan. And in this discussion, I always like to learn a bit more about you, and therefore the usual question: which are the values that drives you in life?
Tough question. So it is always a difficult question, honestly speaking. Personally, I do feel like, every day is a new opportunity. You start your day as like a battery. You start with 100. By the end of the day, you're actually almost zero, or, close to zero. You go to bed and charge yourself and start a new day. So at this new day, we do see that, or I do see that as an opportunity to become better. So you either, live your day to being a more developed person or better that person for the next day. Otherwise, all the other motivations that you may have has an end. So whenever you reach out to there, and which I've had earlier in my career, I want to move to a country. I want to visit, 30 countries, which I've done maybe like when I was 25. I wanted to earn that much amount of money. I've done that. Well, I've done all of them. So when you reach out to those targets, and then you find yourself in a plateau where, you need the next thing. So when that next things are actually countable, I find my motivation to continue the day being literally better than yesterday every single day. So that's a continuous goal and continuous target to keep up in the life.
Being better than yesterday, this is really an outstanding sentence. I think we have the first tweetable moment with this sentence. Really nice. And you mentioned something that I think it's really important, and we can also start deep diving in customer experience and what you are doing. You spoke about total experience, and as a CEO of Pisano, you are speaking with a lot of companies in the different regions. And what's your view on the actual customer experience landscape?
So as I said, and as you said, total experience. So it's all about human. So when we use these words just because some analysts or some market drivers mentioned that those keywords, but actually it's about the human experience. Like either it's being a customer experience, it is an employee experience of a partner. So wherever there is that surrounding around the business or an individual, we really care about all the human experience around. That's why we call it as a total experience concept. So with the total experience, we really would like to, still talking about the commercial world, we really would like to take this experience, the total experience, to a level where people are really talking about the kindness or experience of the whole trade. We're still at the very early days of this, but again, the future, I see it coming. Like we will be talking about the total experience, the kindness of the full trade environment.
I think what you are saying, it's totally makes sense, and it's really interesting because it's what I am also facing in my small world. There are quite a lot of people that goes to work in their companies, and they are completely different people than they are at home or they are outside of work. And I think this is not possible. There will not be possible in future anymore, because we are always connected. We are always in exchange with people. And therefore, I think this is really a really interesting idea and something that we would like to follow. And I think at the end, it's really the vision of every customer experience professional. It's not only about improving the revenues, but it's the return on the experience. What brings these experiences to us as human being? And as you are working for Pisano, and Pisano is really a fast-growing company, you are everywhere and sponsoring a lot of different events. You are growing. I think later we will speak also about Pisano Friends. What's the key ingredients for having such a success story?
Yeah, usually I wasn't expecting this question, honestly. So I've shared this in different mediums. I'll say very basic things, but it's very hard to do, I believe, because I've never heard anyone else doing it. Sometimes really those basic and simple things are easy to say, but hard to do. So Pisano is actually a platform developed by the customers, developed by the businesses, and developed for those same people, same businesses and same enterprises or same customers. So what do I mean? So this is not a space that we have invented. We need to make peace with that. Like we need to agree that this is not in the space that we've invented. So there were analysts that they were writing about customer experience 30 years ago. So 30 years ago, in the world, it was defined what is voice of customer, what's voice of employee. Those people were talking about the concepts that we are talking about now 30 years ago. And imagine yourself, you're putting a small stone. I was keeping one at my hand, but due to my background, you wouldn't see that. You would be putting a stone every single day for 30 years. You would literally make a skyscraper. Okay, so every single day you're putting a small stone, you would make the skyscraper in 30 years. And then Pisano is just 6 years old business. So when you just born, you look at the world and you realize that there's a world around you, which all the market and competitors, expectations of the customers, partners, all that environment, trade environment, then there are skyscrapers around you. So you got to start from somewhere, but you don't know, and you have resources which are let's say which are limited, or again there are boundaries of those resources. We found the key ingredient by actually what we wanted to bring to our customers. So we did implement Pisano platform first inside the Pisano. So we always use our own platform. So we implemented voice of the customer within Pisano first. Since 2016, when the company was established, every single day, every Pisano employee at any office at 1:30 p.m. Istanbul time, they get together to discuss every customer feedback. That's how we defined our customer intimacy. That's how Pisano is developed with those businesses that trust in Pisano, and that is developed for them at the same time. So that's as you know, that's the story that we sell to our customers. That's how voice of customer programs work. And we implement that within Pisano so that we, go faster than those skyscrapers and we reach out to them. So maybe Pisano provides today 120% of what's available in the market, maybe 90%, but that is always understood and appreciated by the customers. We have in average 1,000 users with all our customer portfolio using Pisano platform every single day, because that platform is developed for them and developed by them. And then, when we when we've implemented that infrastructure also within the Pisano platform, we've also felt like we've also made those businesses feel that they really care, their experiences and their expectations are heard. So in such a way, we actually managed our resources efficiently and effectively, so that everything that we do has a meaning in the market. And we also save ourselves. Put yourself in my shoes. 6 years ago, you started a business, you have no idea. How would you know? It's a very tough situation. You wouldn't know. Those brilliant ideas that you may have cost you billions of dollars, let's say $1 million, because you're at a small scale. And then in 2 years, you're out of business, or people don't like what you've developed. That's not an easy job. That's what keeps you awake in the night. But when you listen to customers, they're there. Again, it doesn't mean that everything that customer feedback says is correct, but the experience or the talent you have in the company needs to filter them down, analyze them, and then put them in a format that even exceeds the expectation of the customer. But that's the talent, and that talent in those 6 years made an amazing job. That's what made Pisano, attractive for all those businesses that trusted in Pisano for the past years. And even, some of the competitors that tried to, somehow have the experience of the Pisano, but we said no.
That's really outstanding. Listening to the customer and acting also to what they are saying and requesting, and for sure always having in mind that we are in business. You are making us extremely curious, because you are saying you listen to the customer, and before you tell us how you solve the issues of the customer, what are your customer asking you?
So factually speaking, when we talk to our own customers, about 80% of our customers choose Pisano for its analytic capabilities. And about 80, again, exact numbers should be about 82, 81% are also choosing Pisano for its talent, the competency of the people that they're going to work with. So considering again the technology, speed of technology, and the framework that we've implemented in the past, and today venture capitals are there, money is very cheap, money is everywhere, as soon as you're doing things on the right way. So Pisano is a big platform today. Like, we have a lot of capabilities, like starting from the very early engagement of a customer for a full life cycle stage. We manage the experience of that a customer or an employee, starting from the candidate period up to being an alumni. So throughout that process, there are a lot of those functionalities readily available within the Pisano platform. But if you're asking me now, what they are asking more, like currently, employee experience solutions are very trending for various reasons, like Great Resignation, working from home, and et cetera, et cetera. But honestly, there is one request always, which will never change. our customers want the best products from Pisano, combined with the most competent team and in the most affordable way. That's what our customers are asking us every single day.
And I think the product you can copy, but the experiences that you are offering to your customer, this is something that it's not possible to copy. You mentioned several times, and I really like it and enjoy listening to you. It's the team, because they are making the difference. And it's like a football team, a soccer team playing the game and trying to win the game. Are you there could you share with us your thoughts or best practices, what you are doing at Pisano in order to nurture this talent? You mentioned something at 1:30 p.m. You discuss customer feedback. Are there any others insights you can share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So for the team, today, I believe that's the biggest challenge for almost every business. So if you are a niche, if you are a small business, you may find your niche and you may attract, up to, let's say, 10 people, in a way that, you can keep them also happy and, motivated, satisfied. But, when you go to scale, when we're talking about 50 people, from 100 people to, thousands, then the real challenge comes. So it's very difficult. Even, in the talent market today, talents are much more powerful compared to the businesses. So even from the early day, we really, care about the experience of the people. For some people, we even tell them, look, Pisano is not the right place for you. The other offers that you received from company A, B, and C are better for you. We believe that you're going to be much more successful there and you will have a better future. So when we talk to, for example, let's talk about the recruitment process. Let's say that we're receiving a potential team member for the company. Again, I'll say very simple things, but I'm not sure, again, if the companies will be able to implement. If nothing major happens, I meet every single person that's going to join the company. I'm never the decision maker, never ever. Even for the people that I will work with directly, I'm never the decision maker. I'm there always to make final handshake. So I never ask any questions. I always listen and respond all the questions coming from the talents first, just to make sure that everything is understood and then their questions are answered before they make the decision, because that moment in life is very important. Company is a powerful entity. Company has resources, priorities, you can sweep some things under the carpet, you can change priorities, you can say that I made a mistake. You can company is a different entity, but for a person in the life of a person, changing a job, changing the life, changing an environment, it's a big decision. And we want to make sure that they have the necessary and required information before they make the decision. So the honest conversation at that point usually results in a long-term relationship, because we start there. It starts there. It starts even before people getting into that company. So we would like to make sure that we give all the information available within the Pisano before, so that people make the right decision for them. And then that's one thing that we find usually work. And then I usually have about one question that I ask throughout those engagements. And I ask how was your experience with us so far throughout the process? And usually the words that I hear is, great culture, very friendly, open. I've never, felt discomfortable in job interviews and others. So that's the image that we want to create. And that's actually the culture inside the Pisano too. So, that that differs from organization to organization. As you said, we're a fast growing business. Even today we had 5 new team members. just started. imagine the speed of the growth the company is going through. So we really care about all this experience from even before they get into the company, from the first moment that we touch with them. And I would like to get that feedback individually from every one of them. If there's anything wrong, we are there to fix. But we also would like to start that relationship in a way that it's a long-term sustainable relationship.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, you have a competitive advantage if you listen to this podcast, because you know which question Ozkan is going to ask you during the recruiting process. Joke aside, what you are saying and what you are doing, and also your role, it really looks like a football coach. At the end, you know that the people, the players are on the game and they are playing, and you are empowering them, helping them to get the best and to be the best in order to achieve these results. Does it fit in my explanation, what I'm saying and what you said?
I'm not sure if I'm the coach still. We're still I would say in my eye, we're still a small company, and we will always be a small company. The company doesn't need a coach. So they need a team member. They need a team member that they can depend on. They need someone that they can call. Everyone at Pisano has my phone number directly, my email address, I'm on the Microsoft Teams every time. 7/24, they can reach me out without any doubt. So that's what I am. I wouldn't say I'm a coach or something. No, I'm just I'm a team member that will be there to support them at every challenge, at every crossroad, at every struggle that they're going to have throughout their journey at Pisano. And even for some of the people that we've met and we couldn't agree to work together, we will still be there for them too.
Understood, and I think it's this explanation shows how your humanity, how you really are, and how you want that all the people around you are successful. Perhaps if we close our eyes for 2 seconds and we jump in 10 years time from now, what we are discussing about customer experience?
Yeah.
An easy question.
Again, it's not an easy question because people know that I'm a full ops guy. So I'm in every detail. So future questions are usually not for me. I don't let's say I wouldn't be talking too highly about future as I've talked about what we are doing today. We're passionate to doing everything that we're doing today, but for future. So at least what I think, coming back to the question. So for today, think about all the, known people in the experience management space and collect all the number of customers that they have. Company 1, 2, 3, 4, we know all of them, Pisano and some others. Let's say that we have, in our competitive list, we have about 112 companies, even, maybe some of them added, and then sum up all the numbers of customers that they have. It's still too small. So it's still niche. Although we're pretending like everyone is talking about customer experience, everyone is investing in customer, that's not true. It's still too niche. I know how many companies really care and invest in the business in the markets that we are operating. And then when you think about this one, but going back 5 years ago, it wasn't here. It wasn't even 10% of what we are seeing today. So the growth is there. And as you know, by the researchers and analysts. So this market is growing about, 25% every single year. So it's a huge growth. So when going back to future, I believe it's become a commodity in 10 years. So when, we're talking about, we work with the biggest banks in country A, and, we work with this retailer in 10 countries, those are the shiny stories that we're telling. But, from 10 years now, hopefully, when a company registers themselves to the trade registry, as they are investing in accounting today, you can't do it without accounting, right? you won't be able to do it without experience management. So as soon as you start the company, you register yourself to the trade registry and you'll say, I need to invest. I need to think about the experience that I provide to my partners, my suppliers, my team and employees, and also, my customers, of course. So hopefully we will reach out to there in 10 years, maybe even earlier.
That's the hope. Yes, I think it's a great answer. And even if you said that you are an operator, I think this is really important what you are saying, because nowadays customer experience is still something fluffy for a lot of companies, and it's important that we understand that customer experience it's important, because without customer there is no business. We are coming to an end of this game. It was really an outstanding game together with you, Ozkan. But before you leave, my 3 questions. The first one, if somebody would like to contact you, what's the best way?
The best way to reach out to me, always LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn a lot. I use Twitter a lot. We would love to actually have everyone listening this podcast at Pisano Friends. Pisano Academy is a non-commercial, non-profit initiative at Pisano, where we would like to reach out to that 10 years goal faster than actually it's going to happen by itself. So Pisano Academy is a place where we share everything that we know and everything that we learn. And under Pisano Friends, and which is going very nice. And Greg, thank you very much. You're also a Pisano friend. That we have about 100 people already at Pisano Friends that we're creating content together. We are working together, and we're planning to turn that into a community. And going back to the conversations that we really had at the beginning about the kindness around trade and the full experience around the trade, I believe the people talking about the experience, we can get together and also define the future of the market together. So Pisano Friends also a great medium to connect, and we would like to welcome everyone to get here, share their ideas, share their experiences, and shine them together. So Pisano Friends could be another area of for people to connect me, but I'm not hesitant. So whenever I see someone, at least customer experience, word in the title, employee experience, just an experience, I just click on connect. So if I've connected to people and they don't know me, no, I'm not a salesperson. I don't connect to, send out these, messages of, yeah, we're a beautiful tool. Would you like to invest in? No, I'm there just to learn and share. That's it.
What I like most from the other people, the sales people, is, do you have 10 minutes for me? Yes, I have a lot of 10 minutes, but for real stuff and not to listen to strange sales calls. Back to the reality, I think Pisano Friends and Pisano Academy are really great setups in order to share knowledge, to get to know each other, and to grow together in customer experience. As you said, and as you told me some years ago, it's important to make the cake bigger, and then there is enough for everybody, and customer experience make totally sense. And please connect with Ozkan, because it's outstanding to talk with him. Is there perhaps a book that you would suggest to the audience that you say, this book helped me during my career, or also for your personal life?
So that would be one. Naming one would be difficult. So I'll be very honest here. Before pandemic, I was traveling a lot, so I was spending a lot of time on the road. And due to the time zones that we were managing, starting from Singapore to Canada, it wasn't easy to really focus on things. And I wasn't also having an efficient way of living. Let's say, although I was very efficient in traveling, I could be ready in 3 minutes to fly to anywhere in the world. But, back then I didn't have time. So pandemic helped me a lot. So I started to read a lot. Before pandemic, honestly speaking, I wasn't reading that much. Currently, I'm reading everything. For example, just, last week, a customer of ours, his wife wrote a new book and he shared that with me. I'm just expecting that one in 30 minutes to arrive home, and I'm going to read that most probably tonight or, tomorrow as soon as I receive it. And, I read a lot classics. I like Russian literature a lot, although Russian word is a little bit dangerous in these days. Yes, for the reasons that we know. So I like that a lot. But I wouldn't really say that one book changed my life. No, everything just adds up.
Thank you very much. And perhaps the last question, and this Ozkan Golden Nugget, it's something we discussed or something new that you would leave to the audience?
Golden Nugget. Yeah, so I believe, again, let me get to one. let me get to one. So again, we talked about a lot of nice things, but if we really talk about the Golden Nugget, so if we talk about the story of Pisano and the history of what we've done, I was about 25 years old when I started Pisano and reaching out to today. So I would always say the best products, the best processes are always developed with the customer. So, listening and understanding them is the basis. And if you act on them properly, it will make the change happen for the customer, in the eye of the customer. They will really feel that. So I would say, again, the best products, the best processes, the best companies are always developed by listening. So I believe that's also, at the core of the Zen philosophy. So you always start with listening. So what we've done in the past very successfully, we listened very well. So I would still recommend people, listening well what's happening around them.
Thank you very much. And I think Ozkan scored the last goal on this CX Goalkeeper podcast. It was really outstanding to have you on my podcast. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for having me. And again, our relationship started with the Pisano Academy. Back then, we didn't name it as Pisano Friends. And hopefully we're going to have you back in Pisano Friends anytime soon.
Sure. It was a great pleasure. And I hope that the audience enjoyed this discussion as much as I did. Thank you very much. Grazie mille. Arrivederci. If you enjoyed this episode, please share the word of mouth. Subscribe it, share it. Until the next episode, please don't forget, we are not in a B2B or B2C business, we are in a human-to-human environment. Thank you!